Our topic is all about circle or pie graph. In this lesson, you will learn the following: the history of the circle or graph, steps and procedure, sample problems with the solutions, and application. What is a circle or pie graph? A pie chart, sometimes called a circle chart, is a way of summarizing a set of nominal data or displaying the different values of a given variable. This type of chart is a circle divided into a series of segments. Each segment represents a particular category. The area of each segment is the same proportion of a circle as the category of the total of data set.
I'm going to report what is circle graph. A circle graph or pie chart shows the relationship between the whole circle or 100% and the various slices that represent portions of that 100%. The larger the slice, the higher the percentage. Pie chart usually show the component part of a whole. Sometimes you will see a segment of a drawing separated from the rest of the pie in order to emphasize an important piece of information. The pie chart is one of the most used and hated chart type of all time. Its shape is very familiar, but this visual representation is easily misleading if not used properly. Here at Infogram, we've decided to take a closer look at this controversial chart to help you avoid common mistakes people make every day.
Good day, everyone. I am Hannah Hernandez, and I will be reporting about the history of a circle or pie graph. So, the pie chart has been around for over 200 years. It was first invented in 1801 by a Scottish writer on political economy, William Playfair, nowadays known as the inventor of statistical graphs. At the time, Playfair believed making an appeal to the eye when proportion and magnitude are concerned is the best and easiest method of conveying a distinct idea, and the pie chart and bar chart were born. Some people believe that he also invented the line chart, but that story better left for another time. His first notable use of the pie chart was to compare geopolitical territories represented by circles, sometimes segmented in slices, like in the case of that of the Turkish Empire, represented in the picture. The invention was almost forgotten until 1858, when the French civil engineer Charles-Joseph Minard created a divided circle map showing the amounts and proportions of butcher's meats supplied to the Paris market. At about the same time, Florence Nightingale, the English nurse, social reformer, and statistician, used a polar area diagram to show the dynamics of the morality causes of the British Army in the East. Each sector has equal angles and differs only on how far the radius extends from the center of the circle.
How to construct a pie chart. Find the central angle for each component using the formula given on the previous page. Draw a circle of any radius. Draw a horizontal radius. Starting with the horizontal radius, draw radii making central angles corresponding to the values of respective components. Repeat the process for all the components of the given data. These radii divide the whole circle into various sectors. Now, shade the sectors with different colors to denote various components. Thus, we obtain the required pie chart. Given below is a pie chart showing the type of books prepared by the student of a class. A pie chart is divided into 4 sectors: storybooks as 50%, comic books as 30%, poem books as 10%, and puzzle books as 10%.
Problem 1. What percent of the people at the gym prefer sports to play? So to get the chart of this percent of these values, you need to add all the values to get the total values. After getting the total values, divide each value by a total value, which is 25. and multiply it by 100 to get the percentage. So in baseball, 6 divided by 25 and multiply by 100, we get 24%. And for football, 4 divided by 25 multiplied by 100, we get 16%. And for swimming, 4 divided by 25 multiplied by 100, we also get 16%. And for soccer, 3 divided by 25 multiplied by 100, we get 12%. And lastly, for baseball, 8 divided by 25 multiplied by 100, we get 32%. So a full circle has 360 degrees. The next thing we do is to calculate how many degrees each value for baseball, football, swimming, soccer, and basketball. So to get the degrees, we simply divide the values by the total and multiply it by 360. You can also use the decimal of the percentage in our values and multiply it by 360. So for baseball, 6 divided by 25 multiplied by 360, we get 86.4 degrees. And for football, 4 divided by 25 multiplied by 360, we get 57.6 degrees. And for swimming, 4 divided by 25 multiplied by 360, we get also 57.6 degrees. And for soccer, 3 divided by 25 multiplied by 360, we get 42.2 degrees. Lastly, for basketball, 8 divided by 25 multiplied by 360, we get 115.2 degrees. So after getting degrees, you can now proceed to graphing. So to graph, you can use protractor or the pie chart in the Microsoft Word to lay out the circle graph. That's all. Thank you.
As you can see, the pie chart shows the percentage of favorite type of TV shows. The problem is 250 people were asked what their favorite type of show is to watch on TV. How many people responded that they prefer to watch sports or documentaries? So this is how you solve the problem. First, sports and documentaries account 62% of the pie chart. The words "or" in the story problem is a keyword indication. We should add the categories together. Second, sports and documentaries account for 62% of the pie chart. We should note that this will be more than half of the 250 people asked. 35% for sports plus 27% for documentaries in the total of 62% is not the answer because there are a total of 250 people. You must find 62% of the 250. Third, 62 is a percent, so we can state that 62 out of 100 people like sports or documentaries. Next, we need to figure out what that is equal to out of 250. And lastly, when finding the percent of another number, we can multiply the total 250 by the percent, which is a 62 written in the decimal form. 62 over 100 is equal to x over 250. So to find the value of x, you multiply 250 and 6.62, so the total is 155. So therefore, we can say that 155 people out of 250 people prefer watch sports and or documentaries on television, which is equivalent to 62% out of 100 people or 62%.
Generalization. Circle graph is a presentation of material that can be given in a form of parts of a whole. It is called a pie graph. Conclusion. We have looked at a number of different graphs and charts, all of which were potentially misleading. We hope that from now on, if you have to work with a graph or a chart, you will always consider the following points. First, look carefully at any horizontal or vertical scale that is given. Second, consider each graph and chart separately. Don't compare them unless you are sure that they have the same scales. Third, if it is not easy to interpret the graph or chart, try reading of some values.
charts are used to display a company's revenue on time. They present facts in straightforward and understandable manner. Pie charts are mostly used to demonstrate comparison, and also pie charts are used in schools to illustrate allotted in each subject.